Hello, and welcome to this live rehearsed reading of William Shakespeare's Titus Andronicus, adapted and directed by Chessman. The performance you're about to watch is a follow-up of our previous production of King Lear, and is once again in aid of Acting for Others. Acting for Others is a fantastic charity which supports people in the arts during difficult times. Please, where possible, donate as much or as little as you can. A link to the Just Giving page can be found in the description below or in the live comment section. All donations will be greatly appreciated. Last March, our beloved industry shut to help contain the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. And since then, very few theatres have been able to reopen, and those that have had to operate with a restricted capacity. The cast members that you are about to watch have given up their time over the last few weeks to be a part of this performance. And I want to thank each and every one of them for doing so and putting so much effort into creating a fantastic performance. I also want to thank Chessman, who, in addition to performing in this, has written this adapted and abridged version of the piece, directed it, and cast the whole company. Before we start, I want to introduce you to the following people appearing tonight: Sam Rowland, Will Forrester, Benedict Esdale, Troy Chessman, Charlotte Reidie, Alice Herz, Martin Fisher, Alice Park-Davies, Christie Silvester, Dwayne A. Samuels, Edward Gist, Millie Abbas, and Tiffany Marina. So, without further ado, sit back, fasten your seatbelts, and enjoy this live rehearsed reading of Titus Andronicus. Thank you.
Right, is it? Have we? Yes? Yes. Noble patricians, patrons of my right, defend the justice of my cause with arms, and countrymen, my loving followers, plead my successive title with your swords. I am his firstborn son. Then let my father's honours live in me, nor wrong mine age with this indignity.
Friends, followers, favourers of my right, if ever Bassianus were gracious, keep then this passage to the capital, and suffer not dishonour to approach the imperial seat, to virtue consecrate, to justice, continence, and nobility. But let desert and pure election shine, and Romans, fight for freedom in your choice.
Princes that strive by factions and by friends ambitiously for rule and empery, know that the people of Rome, for whom we stand a special party, have, by common voice, in election for the emperor, chosen Andronicus. And now, at last, laden with horror's spoils, returns the good Andronicus, renowned Titus, flourishing in arms.
Marcus Andronicus, so I do ally in thy uprightness and integrity, and so I love and honour thee in thine, thy noble brother Titus and his sons, and her to whom my thoughts are humbled all, gracious Lavinia, Rome's rich ornament, that I will here dismiss my loving friends, and to my fortune and the people's favour commit my cause in balance to be weighed.
Friends that have been thus forward in my right, I thank you all and here dismiss you all, and to the love and favour of my country commit myself, my person, and the cause. Rome, be as just and gracious unto me as I am confident and kind to thee. Open the gates and let me in.
Romans, make way. The good Andronicus, patron of virtue, Rome's best champion, successful in the battles that he fights, with honour and with fortune is returned, from whence he circumscribed with his sword, and brought to yoke the enemies of Rome.
Hail, Rome, victorious in thy mourning weeds. Romans of 25 valiant sons, behold the poor remains, alive and dead. These that survive, let Rome reward with love. These that I bring unto their latest home with burial amongst their ancestors.
Give us the proudest prisoner of the Goths, that we may hew his limbs, and on a pile add manes fracture and sacrifice his flesh.
I give you him, the noblest that survives, the eldest son of this distressed queen.
Stay, Roman brethren, gracious conqueror, victorious Titus, rue the tears I shed, a mother's tears in passion for her son. And if thy sons were ever dear to thee, oh, think my son to be as dear to me. Oh, must my sons be slaughtered in the streets for valiant doings in their country's cause? Andronicus, stain not thy tomb with blood. Wilt thou draw near the nature of the gods? Draw near them then in being merciful. Sweet mercy is nobility's true badge. Thrice noble Titus, spare my firstborn son.
Patient yourself, madam, and pardon me. These are their brethren, whom you Goths beheld alive and dead, and for their brethren slain, religiously they ask a sacrifice. To this your son is marked, and die he must, to appease their groaning shadows that are gone.
Away with him, and make a fire straight, and with our swords upon a pile of wood, let's hew his limbs till they be clean consumed.
Oh, cruel, irreligious piety!
Was ever Scythia half as barbarous?
Oppose not Scythia to ambitious Rome. Alarbus goes to rest, and we survive to tremble under Titus's threatening looks. Then, madam, stand resolved, but hope withal. The self-same gods that armed the Queen of Troy with opportunity of sharp revenge upon the Thracian tyrant in his tent, may favour Tamora, the Queen of Goths, when Goths were Goths and Tamora was queen, to quit the bloody wrongs upon her foes.
See, Lord and Father, how we have performed our Roman rites. Alarbus's limbs are lopped, and entrails feed the sacrificing fire, whose smoke like incense doth perfume the sky.
Let it be so. And let Andronicus make this latest farewell to their souls. In peace and honour rest you here, my sons. Rome's readiest champions, repose you here in rest. In peace and honour rest you here, my sons.
In peace and honour live Lord Titus long. My noble lord and father, live in fame. Lo, at this tune my tributary tears I render for my brethren's obsequies. And at thy feet I kneel with tears of joy for thy return to Rome. Oh, bless me here with thy victorious hand, whose fortunes Rome's best citizens applaud.
Kind Rome, that hast thus lovingly reserved the cordial of my age to glad my heart. Lavinia, live! Outlive thy father's days, and fame's eternal date for virtue's praise.
Long live Lord Titus, my beloved brother, gracious triumpher in the eyes of Rome.
Thanks, gentle tribune, noble brother Marcus.
Titus Andronicus, the people of Rome, whose friend in justice thou hast ever been, send thee by me their tribune and their trust, this palliament of white and spotless hue, and name thee in election for the empire, and help to set a head on headless Rome.
A better head a glorious body fits than his that shakes for age and feebleness. What, should I don this robe and trouble you? Rome, I have been thy soldier 40 years, and led my country's strength successfully, and buried 21 valiant sons, knighted in field, slain manfully in arms, in right and service of their noble country. Give me a staff of honour for mine age, but not a sceptre to control the world.
Titus, ask and thou shalt obtain the embry.
Proud and ambitious tribune, canst thou tell?
Patience, Prince Saturninus.
Romans, do me right. Patricians, draw your swords and sheathe them not till Saturninus be Rome's emperor. Andronicus, would thou wert shipped to hell rather than rob me of the people's hearts.
Proud Saturnine, interrupter of the good, that noble-minded Titus means to thee.
Content thee, Prince. I will restore thee the people's hearts and wean them from myself.
Andronicus, I do not flatter thee, but honour thee, and will do till I die. My faction, if thou strengthen with thy friends, I will most thankful be, and thanks to men of noble minds is honourable meed.
People of Rome, and people's tribunes here, I ask your voice and your suffrages. Will you bestow them on friendly Andronicus?
To gratify the good Andronicus and gratulate his safe return to Rome, the people will accept whom he admits.
Tribunes, I thank you. And this suit I make, that you create your emperor's eldest son, Lord Saturnine, whose virtues will, I hope, reflect on Rome as Titans raise on earth and ripen justice in this commonweal. Then, if you will elect by my advice, crown him and say, long live our emperor.
With voices and applause of every sort, patricians and plebeians, we create Lord Saturnus, Rome's great emperor, and say, long live our Emperor Saturnine.
Titus Andronicus, for thy favours done to us in our election this day, I give thee thanks in part of thy deserts, and will with deeds requite thy gentleness. And for an onset, Titus, to advance thy name and honourable family, Lavinia will I make my empress, Rome's royal mistress, mistress of my heart, and in the sacred pantheon her espouse. Tell me, Andronicus, does this motion please thee?
It doth, my worthy lord, and in this match I hold me highly honoured of your grace. And here, in sight of Rome to Saturnine, king and commander of our commonweal, the wide world's emperor, do I consecrate my sword, my chariot, and my prisoners.
Thanks, noble Titus, father of my life. How proud I am of thee and thy gifts.
Now, madam, you are prisoner to an emperor, to him that for your honour and your state will use you nobly and your followers.
A goodly lady, trust me. Of the hue that I would choose, were I to choose anew. Clear up, fair queen, that cloudy countenance, though chance of war hath wrought this change of cheer, thou comest not to be made a scorn in Rome. Princely shall thy usage be in every way. Rest on my word, and let not discontent daunt all your hopes. Madam, he comforts you, can make you greater than the queen of gods. Lavinia, you are not displeased with this?
Not I, my lords, if true nobility warrants these words in princely courtesy.
Thanks, sweet Lavinia. Romans, let us go. Ransomless here, we set our prisoners free. Proclaim our honours, lords, with trump and drum.
Lord Titus, by your leave, this maid is mine.
How, sir? Are you in earnest then, my lord?
I, noble Titus, am resolved withal to do myself this reason and this right.
Tuum sique is our Roman justice. This prince in justice seizeth but his own.
And that he will, and shall, if Lucia live.
Traitors, avaunt! Where is the emperor's guard? Treason, my lord. Lavinia is surprised.
Surprised? By whom?
By him that justly made bear his betrothed form all the world away.
Brothers, help to convey her hence away, and with my sword I'll keep this door safe.
Follow, my lord, and I'll soon bring her back.
My lord, you pass not here.
What, villain boy? Bars my way in Rome? My sons would never so dishonour me. Traitor, restore Lavinia to the emperor.
Dead if you will, but not to be his wife. That is another's lawful promise, love.
No, Titus. No, the emperor needs her not, nor her, nor thee, nor any of thy stock. I'll trust him by leisure that mocks me once, thee never, nor thy traitorous haughty sons, confederates all thus to dishonour me.
Oh, monstrous, what reproachful words are these?
But go thy ways. Go, give that changing peace to him that flourished for her with his sword a valiant son-in-law thou shalt enjoy, one fit to bandy with thy lawless sons, to ruffle in the commonwealth of Rome.
These words are roses to my wounded heart.
And therefore, lovely Tamora, queen of gods, that like the stately Phoebe mongst her nymphs dost overshine the gallantest dames of Rome. If thou be pleased with this my sudden choice, behold, I choose thee, Tamora, for my bride, and will create thee Empress of Rome. Speak, Queen of Gods, dost thou applaud my choice?
And here in sight of heaven, to Rome I swear, if Saturnine advance the Queen of Goths, she will a handmaid be to his desires, a loving nurse, a mother to his youth.
Ascend, fair Queen, Pantheon, lords, accompany your noble emperor and his lovely bride, sent by the heavens for Prince Saturnine, whose wisdom hath her fortune conquered. There shall we consummate our spousal rites.
I am not bid to wait upon this bride. Titus, when wert thou wont to walk alone, dishonoured thus and challenged of wrongs?
O Titus, see what thou hast done. In a bad quarrel slain a virtuous son.
No, foolish tribune, no, son of mine, nor thou, nor these confederates in the deed that hath dishonoured all our family, unworthy brother and unworthy sons.
But let us give him burial as becomes. Give Mutius burial with our brethren.
Traitors away! He rests not in this tomb. This monument 500 years hath stood, which I have sumptuously re-edified. Here none but soldiers and Rome's servitors repose in fame, none basely slain in brawls. Bury him where you can, he comes not here.
My lord, this is impiety in you. My nephew Mutius' deeds do plead for him. He must be buried with his brethren.
And shall, or him, we will accompany.
And shall? What villain was it that spake that word?
He that would vouch it in any place but here.
What? Would you bury him in my despite?
No, noble Titus, but entreat of thee to pardon Mutius and to bury him.
Marcus, even thou hast struck upon my crest, and with these boys mine honour thou hast wounded. My foes I did repute you every one. So trouble me no more, but get you gone.
He is not with himself. Let us withdraw.
Not I till Mutius' bones be buried.
Brother, for in that name does nature plead.
Father, and in the names of nature speak.
Oh, speak thou no more, before the rest will speed.
Renowned Titus, more than half my soul.
Dear Father, soul and substance of us all,
Suffer thy brother Marcus to inter his noble nephew here in virtue's nest, that died in honour and Lavinia's cause. Let not young Mutius then, that was thy joy, be barred his entrance here.
Rise, Marcus, rise. The dismalest day is this that e'er I saw, to be dishonoured by my sons in Rome. Well, bury him, and bury me the next.
there lie thy bones, sweet Mutius, with thy friends, till we with trophies do adorn thy tomb.
No man shed tears for noble Mutius. He lives in fame that died in virtue's cause.
My lord, to step out of these dreary dumps, how comes it that the subtle queen of Goths is of a sudden thus advanced in Rome?
I know not, Marcus, but I know it is, whether by advice or no, the heavens can tell. Is she not then beholding to the man that brought her for this high good turn so far? Yes, And will nobly him remunerate?
So, Bassianus, you have played your prize. God give you joy, sir, of your gallant bride.
And you of yours, my lord. I say no more, nor wish no less, and so I take my leave.
Traitor, if Rome have law or we have power, thou and thy faction shall repent this rape.
Rape, call you it, my lord, to seize my own, my truth betrothed love, and now my wife. But let the laws of Rome determine all. Meanwhile, I am possessed of that is mine.
'Tis good, sir, you are very short with us, but if we live, we'll be as sharp with you.
My lord, what I have done as best I may answer, I must and shall do with my life. Only thus much I give your grace to know, by all the duties that I owe to Rome, this noble gentleman, Lord Titus here, is in opinion and in honour wronged. That in the rescue of Lavinia with his own hand did slay his younger son, in zeal to you and highly moved to wrath to be controlled, and that he frankly gave. Receive him then to favour Saturnine, that hath expressed himself in all his deeds, a father and a friend to thee and Rome.
Prince Bassianus, leave to plead my deeds. 'Tis thou and those that have dishonoured me. Rome and the righteous heavens be my judge, how I have loved and honoured Saturnine.
My worthy lord, if ever Tamora were gracious in those princely eyes of thine, then hear me speak indifferently for all, and at my suit, sweet, pardon what is past.
What, madam? Be dishonoured openly and basely put it up without revenge?
Not so, my lord. The gods of Rome forfend I should be author to dishonour you. But on mine honour dare I undertake for good Lord Titus' innocence in all. Lose not so noble a friend on vain suppose, nor with sour looks afflict his gentle heart. Be one at last. Dissemble all your griefs and discontents. You are but newly planted in your throne, lest then the people and patricians too, upon a just survey, take Titus' part. I'll find a day to massacre them all and raise their faction and their family. The cruel father and his traitorous sons, to whom I sued for my dear son's life, and make them know what 'tis to let a queen kneel in the streets and beg for grace in vain. Come, sweet emperor, come, Andronicus, take up this good old man and cheer the heart that dies in tempest of thy angry frown.
Rise, Titus, rise. My empress hath prevailed.
I thank your majesty, and her, my lord. These words, these looks infuse new life in me.
Titus, I am incorporate in Rome, a Roman now adopted happily, and must advise the emperor for his good. This day all quarrels die, Andronicus, and let it be mine honour, good my lord, that I have reconciled your friends and you. For you, Prince Bassianus, I have passed my word and promise to the emperor that you will be more mild and tractable. And fear not, lords, and you, Lavinia, but my advice, all humbled on your knees, you shall ask pardon of his majesty.
We do, and vow to heaven and to his highness that what we did was mildly as we might, tendering our sister's honour and our own.
That's on mine honour. Here I do swear.
Away, and talk not. Trouble us no more.
Nay, sweet emperor, we must all be friends. The tribune and his nephews kneel for grace. I will not be denied. Sweetheart, look back.
Marcus, for thy sake and thy brothers here, and at my lovely Tamora's entreats, I do remit these young men's heinous faults. Stand up. Lavinia, Though you left me like a churl, I found a friend. And sure as death, I swore I would not part a bachelor from the priest. Come, if the Emperor's court can feast two brides, you are my guest, Lavinia, and your friends. This day shall be a love day tomorrow.
Tomorrow, and it please your majesty, to hunt the panther and the hart with me, with horn in hand, will give your grace bonjour.
Be it so, Titus, and Gramercy too.
Now climbeth Tamra, Olympus' top, safe out of fortune's shot and sits aloft, secure of thunder's crack or lightning flashed, advanced above pale envy's threatening reach. And when the golden sun salutes the morn and had the glint of the ocean with its beams, gallops the zodiac in its glistening coach and overlooks the highest peering hills. So tomorrow, upon her wit doth honor, earthly honor wait, and virtue stoops and trembles at her frown. Then Aaron, arm thy heart and fit thy thoughts, surmount aloft with thy imperial mistress, and mount her pitch whom thou triumph long hast present held, fettered in amorous change, and faster bound to Aaron's charming eyes and Prometheus tied to Caucasus. Away with slavish weeds and serve our thoughts. I will be bright and shine in pearl and gold to wait upon this new-made empress. To wait, said I, to wanton with this queen, this goddess, this Semiramis, this nymph, this siren that would try and run Saturnine, and see his shipwreck and his commonwealths. Oh, what storm is this?
Oh, Chiron, thy years want wit, and thy wit wants edge, and manners to intrude where I am graced, and may, for aught thou knowst, affected be.
Oh, Demetrius, thou dost overween and all, and so, in this, to bear me down with braves. 'Tis not the difference of a year or two that makes me less gracious or thee more fortunate. I am as able and fit as thou to serve, and deserve my mistress's grace, and that my sword upon thee shall approve and plead my passion for Lavinia's love.
Oh, clubs, these lovers will not keep the peace.
Why, boy, although our mother, unadvised, gave you a dancing rapier by your side, are you so desperate grown to threat your friends? Go to, have your lathe glued within your sheath till you know better how to handle it.
Meanwhile, sir, with the little skill I have, full well shalt thou perceive how much I dare.
Aye, boy, grow ye so brave?
Well, how now, lords? So near the Empress' palace, there you draw and maintain such a quarrel openly. Full well I wot the ground of all this grudge. I would not for 1,000,000 of gold the cause of them make most concerns. Nor would your noble mother for much more be so dishonoured in the court of Rome. For shame, put up!
Not I, till I have sheathed my rapier in his bosom, and withal thrust these reproachful speeches down his throat that he hath breathed in my dishonour here.
For that I am prepared and full resolved. Foul spoken coward, that thunders with thy tongue, and for thy weapon nothing darest form.
Away, I say! Now by the gods that warlike Goths adore, this pretty babble undo us all. Why, lords, and think you know how dangerous it is to jet upon a prince, right? What has Lavinia then become so loose, or Basanius so degenerate, that for her love such quarrels may be broached without controlment, justice, or revenge? Young lords, beware, and should the Empress know this discourse ground, the music would not please.
I cannot. I knew she and all the world loved Lavinia more than all the world.
Youngling, learn thou to make some meaner choice. Lavinia is thine elder brother's hope.
Why are ye mad? Or know you not in Rome how furious and impatient they be, and cannot brook competitors in love? I tell you, lords, you do but pluck your own deaths by this device.
Aaron, 1,000 deaths would I propose to achieve whom I love.
To achieve her? How?
Why makest thou it so strange? She is a woman, therefore may be wooed. She is a woman, therefore may be won. She is Lavinia, therefore must be loved. What man? More water glideth by the mill than what's the miller of. And easy it is of a cut loaf to steal a shiv, we know. Though Bassianus be the emperor's brother, better than he have worn Vulcan's badge.
Aye, as good as Saturnius may.
Then why should he despair that knows to court it with words, fair looks, and liberality? What, hast thou not thou full often struck a doe, and borne her cleanly by the keeper's nose?
Why then it seems some certain snatch or so would serve your turns.
Ah, so the turn were served.
Aaron, thou hast hit it.
Would you'd had hit it too?
Ah, yes.
Then should we not be tired of this ado? Why, hark ye, and are you such fools to swear for this? Would it offend you then that both should speed?
Faith, not me.
No me, so I were one.
For shame, be friends and join for that, you jar. Take this of me. Lucre was not more of chastity than this Lavinia, Bassianus' love. A speedier course than lingering languishment must we pursue, and I have found the path. My lords, a solemn hunting is in hand. There will the lovely Lady Romans troop. The forest walks are wide and spacious, and many unfrequented plots there are fitted by kind for rape and villainy. Single you thither than this dainty doe, and strike her home by force, if not by words. This way or not at all. Stand in hope. The emperor's court is like a house of fame, a palace full of tongues, of eyes and ears. The woods are ruthless, dreadful, deaf, and dull. There speak and strike, brave boys, and take your turns. Then serve your lust shadow from heaven's eye and revel in the vineyard's treasury.
Thy counsel, lad, smells of no cowardice.
Sit fast out nefas, till I find the stream to cool this heat, a charm to calm these fits. Per stigia, per manes vehor.
The hunt is up. The morn is bright and grey, but the fields are fragrant and the woods are green. Uncouple here, and let us make a bay, and wake the emperor and his lovely bride, and rouse the prince, and ring a hunter's peal, that all the court may echo with the noise. Sons, let it be your charge, as it is ours, to attend the emperor's person carefully. I have been troubled in my sleep this night, but dawning day new comfort hath inspired. Many good morrows to your majesty. Madam, to you as many and as good. I promised your grace a hunter's peal.
And you have rung it lustily, my lord. Somewhat too early for new married ladies.
Lavinia, how say you?
I say no. I have been broad awake 2 hours and more.
Come on then. Horse and chariots let us have, and to our sport. Madam, now shall ye see our Roman hunt.
I have my dogs, my lord. We'll rouse the proudest panther in the chase, and climb the highest promontory top.
And I have horse will follow where the game makes way, and run like swallows o'er the plain.
Chiron, we hunt not with horse nor hound, but hope to pluck a dainty doe to ground.
He that had wit would think I had none to bury so much gold under a tree and never after to inherit it. Let him that thinks of me so objectively know that this gold must coin a stratagem, which cunningly effected will beget a very excellent piece of villainy. And so repose sweet gold for their unrest that have their arms out of their empress' chest.
My lovely Aaron, wherefore thou look'st so sad, when everything doth make a gleeful boast? Under their sweet shade, Aaron, let us sit, and whilst the babbling echo mocks the hounds, replying shrilly to the well-tuned horns, as if a double hunt were heard at once, let us sit down and mark their yelping noise, and after conflict such as was supposed, the wandering prince and Dido once enjoyed, when with a happy storm they were surprised and curtained with a counsel-keeping cave, we may, each wreathed in the other's arms, our pastimes done, possess a golden slumber, whilst hounds and horns and sweet melodious birds be unto us as is a nurse's song of lullaby to bring her babe asleep.
Madam, though Venus govern your desire, Saturn is dominator over mine. What signifies my deadly standing eye, my silence and my cloudy melancholy, my fleece of woolly hair that now uncurls, even as an udder when she doth unroll to do some fatal execution? No, madam, these are no venereal signs. Vengeance is in my heart, death in my hand, blood and revenge are hammering in my head. Hark, Tamara, the empress of my soul, which neither hopes nor heaven than rest in thee. This is a day of doom for Basanius. His Philomel must lose her tongue today. Thy sons make pillage of her chastity and wash their hands in Basanius' blood. See us this letter. Take it up, I pray thee, and give the king this fatal potter's scroll. Now question me no more. We are espied. Here comes a parcel of our hopeful booty, which dreads not yet lives of destruction.
Oh, my sweet, more sweeter to me than life.
No more, great empress. Basanius comes, be cross with him, and I go fetch thy sons to back their quarrels whatsoe'er they be.
Who have we here? Rome's royal empress, unfurnished of her well-beseeming troop? Or is it Diane Abboted like her, who hath abandoned her holy groves to see the general hunting of this forest?
Saucy controller of our private steps, had I the power that some say Dion had, thy temples should be planted presently with horns, as was Actaeon's, and the hounds should drive upon thy new transformed limbs, unmannerly intruder as thou art.
Under your patience, gentle empress, 'tis thought you have a goodly gift in horning, and to be doubted that your more in you are singled forth to try experiments. Jove showed your husband from his hounds today. 'Tis pity they should take him for a stag.
Believe me, queen, your swarth Chimerian doth make your honour of his body's hue, spotted, detested, and abominable. Why are you sequestered from all your train, dismounted from your snow-white goodly steed, and wandered hither to an obscure plot, accompanied but with a barbarous Moor, if foul desire had not conducted you?
And being intercepted in your sport, great reason that my noble lord be rated for sauciness. I pray you, let us hence. Let her joy her raven-coloured love. This valley fits the purpose passing well.
The king, my brother, shall have note of this.
Aye, for these slips have made him noted long. Good king, to be so mightily abused.
Oh, why have I patience to endure all this?
How now, dear sovereign, and our gracious mother? Why doth your highness look so pale and wan?
Have I not reason, think you, to look pale? These two have ticed me hither to this place, a barren, detested vale, you see it is, And when they showed me this abhorred pit, they told me, here at dead time of the night, 1,000 fiends, 1,000 hissing snakes, 10,000 swelling toads, as many urchins would make such fearful and confused cries as any mortal body hearing it should straight fall mad, or else die suddenly. No sooner had they told this hellish tale, but straight they told me they would bind me here unto the body of a dismal ewe, and leave me to this miserable death. And then they called me foul adulteress, lascivious Goth, and all the bitterest terms that ever ear did hear to such effect. And had you not by wondrous fortune come, this vengeance on me had they executed. Revenge it, as you love your mother's life. Be ye not henceforth called my children.
This is a witness that I am thy son.
This for me, struck home to show my strength.
I come, Semiramis, nay, barbarous Tamora, for no name fits thy nature but thy own.
Give me thy poniard, you shall know, my boys, your mother's hand shall right your mother's wrong.
Stay, madam. Here is more belongs to her. First thrash the corn, then after burn the straw. This minion stood upon her chastity, upon her nuptial vow, her loyalty, and with that painted hope braves your mightiness. And shall she carry this unto her grave?
If she do, I would be a eunuch. Drag hence her husband to some secret hull and make his dead trunk pillow to our lust.
But when ye have the honey ye desire, let not this wasp outlive us both to sting.
Oh, I warrant you, madam, we will aye make that sure. Come now, mistress. Perforce we will enjoy that nice, preserved honesty of yours.
Oh, Tamora, thou best a woman's face.
I will weigh with her, we will not hear to her speak.
Sweet lords, entreat her, hear me but a word.
Listen, fair madam, let it be your glory to see her tears, but be your heart to them as unrelenting flint to drops of rain.
When did the tiger's young ones teach the dam? Oh, do not learn her wrath. She taught it thee. The milk thou sucked from her did turn to marble. Even at thy teat thou hadst thy tyranny. Yet every mother breeds not sons alike. Do thou entreat her show a woman pity.
What? Wouldst thou have me prove myself a bastard?
'Tis true the raven doth not hatch a lark, yet I have heard, oh, could I find it now, the lion, moved with pity, did endure to have his princely paws pared all away. Some say that ravens foster forlorn children, the whilst their own birds famish in their nests. Oh, be to me, though thy hard heart say so, nothing so kind, but something more pitiful.
I know not what it means. Away with her.
Oh, let me teach thee for thy father's sake, that gave thee life when well he might have slain thee. Be not obdurate, open thy deaf ears.
Hadst thou in person near offended me, even for his sake am I pitiless. Remember, boys, I poured forth tears in vain to save your brother from the sacrifice, but fierce Andronicus would not relent. Therefore away with her, and use her as you will. The worse to her, the better loved of me.
Oh, Tamora, be called a gentle queen, and with thine own hands kill me in this place. For 'tis not life I have begged so long, or I was slain when Bassianus died.
What beggest thou then, fond woman? Let me go.
His present death I beg, and one thing more, that womanhood denies my tongue to tell. Oh, keep me from their worse than killing lust, and tumble me into some loathsome pit where never man's eye may behold my body. Do this, and be a charitable murderer.
So should I rob my sweet sons of their fee? No, let them satisfy their lust on thee.
Away, for thou hast stayed us here too long.
No grace, no womanhood. Oh, beastly creature, the blot and enemy to our general name, confusion full.
Nay, then I will stop your mouth. Bring thou her husband. This is the hole where Aaron bid us hide him.
Farewell, my sons. See that you make her sure, nay, let my heart know merry cheer indeed, till all the Andronici be made away. Now will I hence to seek my lovely Moor, and let my spleenful sons this trull deflower.
Come on, my lords, they're better foot before. Straight will I bring you to the Lowson's pit where I spied the panther fast asleep.
My sight is very dull, whate'er it bodes.
And mine. I promise you, well, not for shame, I could well leave our sport to sleep a while. Ah! Ah!
What art thou fallen? What subtle hole is this? Whose mouth is covered with rude growing briars, upon whose leaves are drops of new shed blood as fresh in morning dew distilled on flowers? Very fatal place, it seems to me. Speak, brother, hast thou hurt thee with the fall?
Oh, brother, with the dismalst object hurt that ever I with sight made heart lament.
Now will I fetch the king to find them here, that he thereby might give a likely guess how these were they that made away his brother.
Why dost not comfort me and help me out of this unhallowed and blood-stained hole?
I'm surprised with an uncle's fear. A chilling sweat I will run to my trembling joints. My heart suspects more than mine eye can see.
To prove thou hast a true divining heart, Aaron and thou look down into this pit, see a fearful sight of blood and death.
Aaron is gone, and my compassionate heart will not permit my eyes once to behold the thing whereat it trembles by surmise. Oh, tell me how it is, for ne'er till now was I a child to fear, I know not what.
Lord Bassianus lies embrued here, all on a heap like to a slaughtered lamb in this detested, dark, blood-drinking pit.
If it be dark, how dost thou notice he?
Upon his bloody finger he doth wear a precious ring which lightens all the whole, which, like some taper in some monument, doth shine upon the dead man's earthy cheeks, and shows the ragged entrails of the pit. So pale did shine the moon on Pyramus when he by night lay bathed in maiden blood. Oh, brother, help me with thy fainting hand, if fear hath made thee faint as me it hath, out of this fell devouring receptacle as hateful as Cocytus' misty mouth.
Reach me thy hand, that I may help thee out, or wanting strength to do thee so much good, I may be plucked into the swallowing womb of this deep pit, poor Bassianus' grave. Oh, I have no strength to pluck thee to the brink.
Nor I no strength to climb without thy help.
Thy hand once more. I will not lose again till thou art here aloft, or I below. Thou canst not come to me. I come to thee.
Along with me.
Ah!
I'll see what hole is here, and what he is that now is leaped into it. Say, who art thou that lady didst descend into this gaping hollow of the earth?
The unhappy son of old Andronicus, brought hither in a most unlucky hour to find thy brother Bassianus dead.
My brother dead? Oh, no, that does but just he and his lady are both at the lodge upon the north side of this pleasant chase. 'Tis not an hour since I left him there.
We know not where you left him all alive, but out, alas, here have we found him dead.
Where is my lord the king?
Here, tomorrow. Though, grieved with a killing grief.
Where is thy brother Bassianus?
Now to the bottom dost thou search my wound, Poor Bassianus lies here murdered.
Then all too late I bring this fatal writ, the complot of this timeless tragedy, and wonder greatly that man's face can fold in pleasing smiles such murderous tyranny.
And if we miss to meet him handsomely, sweet huntsman Bassianus 'tis we mean, do thou so much as dig the grave for him. Thou knowest our meaning. Look for thy reward among the nettles at the elder tree which overshades the mouth of that same pit where we decreed to bury Bassianus. Do this and purchase us thy lasting friends. Oh, tomorrow. Was ever heard the like? This is the pit, and this is the elder tree. Look, sirs, if you can find the huntsman out that should have murdered Bassianus here.
My gracious lord, here is the bag of gold.
Two of thy whelps, fell curs of bloody kind, have here bereft my brother of his life. Sirs, drag them from the pit unto the prison. There let them bide until we have devised some never heard of torturing pain for them.
What? Are they in this pit? Oh, wondrous thing! How easily murder is discovered!
I, Emperor, upon my feeble knee, I beg this boon with tears not lightly shed, that this fell fault of my accursed sons, accursed if the fault be proved in them.
If it be proved, you see it is apparent. Who found this letter tomorrow? Was it you?
Andronicus himself did take it up.
I did, my lord. Yet let me be their bail. For by my father's reverend tomb, I vow they shall be ready at your highness's will to answer their suspicion with their lives.
Thou shalt not bail them. See thou follow me. Some bring the murdered body, some the murdered. Let them not speak a word. The guilt is plain, for by my soul, were there worse end than death, that end upon them shall be executed.
Andronicus, I will entreat the king. Fear not thy sons. They shall do well enough.
Come, Lucia, come. Stay not to talk with them.
So now go tell, and if thy tongue can speak, who 'twas that cut thy tongue and ravished thee.
Write down thy mind, bewray thy meaning so, and if thy stumps will let me play the scribe.
Oh, see how with signs and tokens she can scroll.
Go home, call for sweet water, wash thy hands.
Oh, she hath no tongue to cool, nor hands to wash. And so let's leave her to her silent prayers.
And 'twere my cause, I should go hang myself.
If thou hadst hands to help thee knit the cord.
Who is this? My niece that flies away so fast. Cousin, a word. Where is your husband? Speak, gentle What stern, ungentle hands have loft and hewed and made thy bloody bare of her two branches, those sweet ornaments whose circling shadows kings have sought to sleep in? Why dost thou not speak to me? Alas! A crimson river of warm blood like a bubbling fountain stirred within the wind doth rise and fall between those rosed lips. Come in and go in with thy honey breath, but sure some Tereus hath deflowered thee, unless thou shouldst detect him, cut thy tongue. Ah, now thou'st turned away thy face for shame. Shall I speak for thee? Shall I say 'tis so? Fair Philomena, she but lost her tongue, and in a tedious sampler sowed her mind. Come, let us go. Make thy father blind, for such a sight will blind a father's eye.
Hear me, grave fathers, noble tribunes, stay. For pity of mine age, whose youth was spent in dangerous wars, whilst you securely slept, for all my blood in Rome's great quarrel shed, for all the frosty nights that I have watched, and for these bitter tears which now you see, filling the aged wrinkles of my cheeks. Be pitiful to my condemned sons, whose souls are not corrupted as 'tis thought. O reverend tribunes, O gentle aged men, unbind my sons, reverse the doom of death, and let me say that never wept before, my tears are now prevailing orators.
O noble father, you lament in vain. The tribunes hear you not, no man is by, and you recount your sorrows to a stone.
Oh, Lucia, for thy brothers let me plead. Grave tribunes, once more I entreat of you.
My gracious lord, no tribune hears you speak.
Aye, 'tis no matter. If they did hear, they would not mark me, or if they did mark, they would not pity me. Yet plead I must, therefore I turn my sorrows to the stones. But wherefore standst thou with thy weapon drawn?
To rescue my two brothers from their death, for which attempt the judge hath pronounced my everlasting doom of banishment.
Oh, happy woman, they have befriended thee. Why, foolish Lucia, dost thou not perceive that Rome is but a wilderness of tigers? Tigers must prey, and Rome affords no prey but me and mine. How happy art thou then from these devourers to be banished? But who comes with her brother Marcus here?
Titus, prepare thy aged eyes to weep, or if not so, thy noble heart to break. I bring consuming sorrow to thine age.
Will it consume me then? Let me see it then.
This was thy daughter.
Why, Marcus, so she is.
Ay me, this object kills me.
Faint-hearted girl, arise and look upon her. Speak, Lavinia, what accursed hand hath made thee handless in thy father's sight? Give me a sword. I'll chop off my hands too, for they have fought for Rome and all in vain. 'Tis well, Lavinia, that thou hast no hands, for hands to do Rome service are but vain.
Speak, gentle sister, who have martyred thee?
Oh, that delightful engine of her thought that blabbed them with such pleasing eloquence is torn from forth that pretty hollow cage, where like the sweet melodious bird its songs, sweet varied notes enchanting every ear.
Say thou for her, who have done this deed?
Oh, thus I found her straying in the park, seeking to hide herself, as doth a deer that has received some unrecurring wound.
It was my dear, and he that wounded her hurt me more than that he killed me dead. This way to death, my wretched sons are gone. Here stands my other daughter, a banished woman, and here my brother weeping at my woes. But that which gives me my soul the greatest spurn is dear Lavinia, dearer than my soul. Thou hast no hands to wipe away thy tears, nor tongue to tell me who hath martyred thee. Thy husband, he is dead, and for his death thy brothers are condemned and dead by this. Look, Marcus, Lucia, look on her.
Perchance she weeps because they killed her husband. Perchance because she knows them innocent.
If they did kill thy husband, then be joyful, because the law hath taken revenge on them. Oh, no, no. They would not do so foul a deed. Witness the sorrow that their sister makes. Gentle Lavinia, let me kiss thy lips, or make some sign how I may do thee ease. What shall we do? Let us that have our tongues plot some further misery to make us wondered at in times to come.
Sweet father, cease your tears, for at your grief, see how my wretched sister sobs and weeps.
Patience, dear niece. Good Titus, dry thine eyes.
Oh, Marcus, brother, well I wot thy napkin cannot drink a tear of mine, but thou, poor man, hast drowned it with thine own.
Lavinia, I will wipe thy cheeks.
Mark, I understand her signs. Had she a tongue to speak now, would she say that to her sister, which I said to thee? Her napkin, which her true tears all bewet, can do no service on her sorrowful cheeks. Oh, what a symphony of woe is this, as far from help as limbo is from bliss.
Titus Andronicus, my lord the emperor sends thee this word, that if thou love thy sons, let Marcus, Lucia, or thyself, old Titus, or any one of you, chop off your hand and send it to the king. He, for the same, will send thee hither both thy sons alive, and that shall be the ransom for their fault.
Oh, gracious emperor! Oh, gentle Aaron! Never did raven sing so like a lark, that gives sweet tidings of the sun's uprise. With all my heart I'll send the emperor my hand. Good Aaron, will thou help me chop it off?
Stay, father! For that noble hand of thine that hath thrown down so many enemies shall not be sent. My hand will serve the turn. My youth can better spare my blood than you, and therefore mine shall save my brothers' lives.
Which of your hands hath not defended Rome, and reared aloft the bloody battle-axe, writing destruction on the enemy's castle? Or none of both but are of high desert? My hand hath been but idle, let it serve to ransom my two nephews from their death. Then I have kept it to a worthy end.
Nay, come agree whose hand should go along, for fear they die before their pardon come.
My hand shall go.
By heaven it shall not go.
Sir, strive no more. With such withered herbs as these are meet for plucking, and therefore mine.
Sweet father, if I shall be thought thy daughter, then let me redeem my brothers both from death.
And for your father's sake and mother's care, now let me show a brother's love to thee.
Agree between you, I will spare my hand.
Then I'll go fetch an axe.
But I will use the axe.
Come hither, Aaron. I'll deceive them both.
And if that be called deceit, I will be honest, and never whilst I live to deceive men so. But I will deceive you in another sort, and you'll say here half an hour pass.
Now stay your strife. What shall be is dispatched. Good Aaron, give his majesty my hand. Tell him that it was a hand that warded him for 1,000 dangers. Bid him bury it. More hath it merited than let it have. As for my sons, say I accounted them as jewels purchased at an easy price, and yet dear too, because I bought mine own.
I go, Andronicus, and for thy hand look by and by to have thy sons with thee. Their heads, I mean. How villainy doth fat me at the very force of it. Let fools do good and fair men call for grace. Aaron will have his soul black like his face.
Oh, here I lift this one hand up to heaven and bow this feeble ruin to the earth. If any power pities wretched tears to this thy core, what, if any, wilt thou kneel with me? Do then, dear heart, for heaven shall hear our prayers, or with our sighs will breathe the welkin dim and stain the sun with fog, and sometimes clouds when they do hug him in their melting bosom.
Oh, brother, speak with possibilities, and do not break into these deep extremes.
Is not my sorrow deep, having no bottom? Then be my passions bottomless with them.
But let reason govern thy lament.
If there were reason for these miseries, then into the limits could I bind my woes. When heaven doth weep, but doth not the earth o'erflow, if the winds rage, doth not the sea wax mad, threatening the welkin with his big swollen face, wilt thou have a reason for this coil?
Worthy Andronicus, ill art thou repaid for that good hand thou sent'st the emperor. Here are the heads of thy two noble sons, and here's thy hand sent back to thee. Thy griefs their sports, thy resolution mocked. That woe is me to think upon thy woes, more than remembrance of my father's death.
Oh, now let hot Etna cool in Sicily and be my heart an ever-burning hell. These miseries are more than may be borne. To weep with them that weep doth ease some deal, but sorrow flouted at is a double death.
Oh, but this sight should make so deep a wound, and yet detested life not shrink thereat. That ever death should let life bear his name, where life have no more interest but to breathe.
Alas, poor heart, that kiss is comfortless as frozen water is to a starved snake.
When will this fearful slumber have an end?
Now farewell, flattery, die. Andronicus, thou canst not slumber. See thy two sons' heads, thy warlike hands, thy mangled daughter here, and thy other banished daughter, with this dear sight struck pale and bloodless, and thy brother, I, even like a stony image, cold and numb. Ah, now no more will I control thy griefs. Now is the time to storm. Why art thou still? Why dost thou laugh? It fits not with this hour.
Why, I have not another tear to shed. Besides, this sorrow is an enemy. These two heads do seem to speak to me. Come, let me see what task I have to do. You heavy people, circle me about, that I may turn to each one of you and swear unto my soul to right your wrongs. The vow is made. Come, brother, take a head, and in this hand the other I will bear. Lavinia, thou shalt be employed. These arms, bear thou my hand, sweet wench, between thy teeth. As for thee, girl, go, get from my sight. Thou art an exile, and thou must not stay. Hie to the Goths, and raise an army there. And if you love me, as I think you do, let's kiss and part. We have much to do.
Farewell, Andronicus, my noble father, the woefulest man that ever lived in Rome. Farewell, proud Rome, till Lucia come again. She leaves her pledges dearer than her life. Farewell, Lavinia, my noble sister. Oh, would thou wert as though tofore hast been, but now nor Lucia nor Lavinia lives, but in oblivion and hateful griefs. If Lucia lives, she will requite your wrongs, and make proud Saturnine and his empress, beg at the gates like Tarquin and his queen. Now will I go to the Goths, and raise a power to be revenged on Rome and Saturnine.
So I hope everyone's enjoying it. We're certainly having a good time. We're now going to take a quick 5-minute interval to give you guys a bit of a break. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be back soon.
So. Now sit. And look, you eat no more than will preserve just so much strength in us as will revenge these bitter woes of ours. Marcus, let that sorrow wreathe a knot. Thy niece and I, poor creatures, want our hands, and cannot passionate our tenfold grief with folded arms. This poor right hand of mine is left to tyrannize upon my breast, who, when my heart, all mad with misery, beats in the hollow prison of my flesh, thus then I thump it down.
Fie, brother, fie, teach her not thus to lay such violent hands upon her tender life.
Hello, the sorrow made thee dote already? Why, Marcus, no man should be mad, but I. Fie, how frantically I square my talk, as if we should forget we had no hands, if Marcus did not name the word of hands. Come, let's fall to, and gentle girl, eat this. Oh, here is no drink. Hark, Marcus, what she says, I can interpret all her martyred signs. She says she drinks no other drink but tears, brewed with her sorrow meshed upon her cheeks. Speechless complainer, I will learn thy thought. In thy dumb action will I be as perfect.
Good grandsire, leave these bitter deep laments. Make my aunt merry with some pleasing tale.
Alas, the tender girl is passion moved, doth weep to see her grandshire's heaviness.
What does thou strike at, Marcus?
At that I have killed, my lord, a fly.
Out on thee, murderer! Thou kill'st my heart. Mine eyes are cloyed with view of tyranny. A deed of death done on the innocent becomes our Titus's brother. Get thee gone. I see thou art not for my company.
Alas, my lord, I have but killed a fly.
But how if that fly had a father and a mother? Poor harmless fly, that with his pretty buzzing melody came here to make us merry, and thou hast killed him?
Oh, pardon me, sir. It was a black, ill-favoured fly, like to the Empress more. Therefore I killed him.
Then pardon me for reproaching thee, but thou hast done a charitable deed. Oh, sirrah, yet I think we are not brought so low that between us we can kill a fly that comes in likeness of a coal-black Moor.
Alas, poor man, grief has so wrought on him he takes false shadows for true substances.
Come, take away Lavinia. Go with me. I'll to thy closet and go read with thee sad stories chanced in the times of old.
Help, grandsire, help! My aunt Lavinia follows me everywhere. I know not why. Good Uncle Marcus, see how swift she comes. Alas, sweetheart, I know not what you mean.
Stand by me, Lucia. Do not fear thine aunt. She loves thee too well.
When my mother was in Rome, she did.
What means my niece Lavinia by these signs?
Fear not, Lucia. Something does she mean. See, Lucia, how much she makes of thee. Some whither would she have thee go with her? Ah, girl, Cornelia never with more care read to her sons than she hath read to thee sweet poetry and Tully's orator.
Canst thou not guess wherefore she plies thee thus?
My lord, I know not, nor can I guess, unless some fit or frenzy do possess her. For I've heard my grandsire say full oft, extremity of griefs would make men mad, and I have read that Hecuba of Troy ran mad through sorrow. That made me to fear. Although, my lord, I know my noble aunt loves me as dear as ever my mother did, and would not, but in fury fright my youth, which made me down to throw my books and fly, causeless, perhaps. But pardon me, sweetheart, and madam, if my uncle Marcus go, I will most willingly attend your ladyship.
Lucia, I will.
Oh no, Lavinia, Marcus, what means this? Some book there is that she desires to see. Which is it, girl, of these? Open them, go. But thou art deeper read and better skilled. Come and take a choice of all my library, and so beguile thy sorrow till the heavens reveal the damned contriver of this deed. Why lifts she up her arms in sequence thus?
I think she means there was more than one confederate in the fact. Aye, more there was, or else to heaven she heaves them for revenge.
Lucia, what book is that she tosseth so?
Grandsire, 'tis Ophid Metamorphosis. My mother gave it to me.
For love of her that's gone, perhaps she culled it from among the rest.
Soft, see how busily she turns the leaves. What would she find? Lavinia, shall I read? This is the tragic tale of Philomel, that treats of Terrace's treason and his rape, and rape I fear was root of thine annoy.
See, brother, see, note how she quotes the leaves.
Lavinia, wert thou thus surprised, sweet girl? Ravished and wronged as Philomela was, false in the ruthless vast and gloomy woods. See, see, aye, such a place there is, where we did hunt. Oh, but we never hunted there. Patterned by that the poet here describes, by nature made for murders and for rapes.
Oh, why should nature build so foul a den, unless the gods delight in tragedies?
Give sign, sweet girl. Here are none but friends. What Roman lord it was durst do the deed? Oh, slunk not Saturninus Tarquin erst, that left the camp to sin in Lucre's bed.
Sit down, sweet niece. Brother, sit down by me. Apollo, Pallas, Jove, or Mercury, inspire me, that I may find this treason. My lord, look here, Lavinia. This sandy plot is plain. Guide, if thou canst, this after me, and when I have writ my name, with the help of any hand at all, cursed be that heart that forced us to this shift. Write thou, good niece, and here display at last what God will have discovered for revenge. Heaven guide thy pen, to print thy sorrow's pain, that we may know the traitors and the truth.
Oh. Oh, do you read, my lord, what she hath read? Stuperum, Chiron, Demetrius.
Oh, what the lustful sons of Tamara perform at this heinous bloody deed? My lord, kneel down with me. Lavinia, kneel, and kneel, sweet girl, the Roman Hector's hope, and swear with me, as with the woeful fair and father of that chaste dishonoured dame, Lord Junius Brutus, swear for Lucretia's rape, that we will prosecute, by good advice, mortal revenge upon these traitorous Goths, and see their blood, or die with this reproach.
'Tis sure enough, and you knew how. But if you hunt these bear whelps, then beware, the dam will wake, and if she wind you once, she's with the lion deeply stood in league, and loathes him whilst he playeth on her back. And when he sleeps, will she do what she lists? Where's your lesson then? What say you?
I say, my lord, that if I were a man, thy mother's bedchamber should not be safe for these bad bondmen to the yoke of Rome.
Aye, that's my girl. Thy father hath full oft for his ungrateful country done the like.
And uncle, so will I, and if I live.
Come, go with me into mine armory. Lucia, I will fit thee, and with all my girl, shalt carry from me to the emperor's sons presents that I intend to send them both. Come, thou do thy message, wilt thou not?
Aye, with my dagger in their bosoms, grandsire.
No, not so. I'll teach thee another course. Lavinia, come. Marcus, look to my house. Lucia and I'll go brave it at the court. I marry, we will, sir, and will be waited on.
Oh, heavens, can you hear a good man groan, and not relent, and not compassion him? Revenge, ye heavens, for old Andronicus.
Demetrius, here's the child of Lucia. She had some message to deliver us.
Aye, some mad message from a mad grandfather.
My lords, with all the humbleness I may, I greet your honours from Andronicus. and pray the Roman gods confound you both.
Gramercy, lovely Lucia. What's the news?
That you are both deciphered. That's the news. For villains marked with rape. May it please you, my grandsire, well advised, has sent by me the goodliest weapons of his armory. To gratify your honourable youth, the hope of Rome. So he bade me to say, and so I do, with these gifts presents for your lordships, that whenever you need, you may be armed and appointed well. And so I leave you both, like bloody villains.
Oh, what's here? A scroll, and written round about. Let's see. Integer vitae scelerisque purus non egit Mauri jaculis nec arcu.
'Tis a verse in Horace. I know it well.
Oh yeah.
I read it in the grammar long ago.
Me too.
Aye, just a verse in Horace. Right, you have it. Now, what a thing it is to be an arse. Here's no sound, Jess. The old man hath found their guilt and sends them weapons wrapped about with lines that wound beyond their feeling to the quick. But were our witty empress well afoot, she would applaud Andronicus' conceit, but let her rest in her unrest a while. And now, young lords, what's not a happy star? Lead us to Rome, strangers and more than so captives, to be advanced to this height.
Yeah.
It did me good before the palace gates to brave the tribune in his brother's hearing.
But me more good to see so great a lord basely insinuate and send us gifts.
Had you not reasoned, Lord Demetrius? Did you not use his daughter very friendly?
I would we had 1,000 Roman dames at such a bay by turn to serve our lust.
A charitable wish and full of love.
Here but lux your mother to say amen.
And that she for 20,000 more.
Come, let us go and pray to all the gods for our beloved mother in her pain.
Pray to the devils. The gods have given us over.
Why do the emperor's trumpets flourish thus?
Be like, for joy the emperor hath a son.
Soft. Who comes here?
Good morrow, lords. Oh, tell me, did you see Aaron the Moor?
Well, more or less, or near it all. Here Aaron is, and what with Aaron now?
Oh, gentle Aaron, we are all undone. Now help, or woe betide thee evermore.
Why, what caterwauling does thou keep? What does thou rap and fumble in thine arms?
Oh, that which I would hide from heaven's eyes. Our empress's shame and stately Rome's disgrace. She is delivered, lords, she is delivered.
To whom?
I mean, she is brought to bed.
Well, God give her good rest. Why have he sent her?
A devil.
Why then, she's a devil's dam, a joyful issue.
A joyless, dismal, black and sorrowful issue. Here is the babe, loathsome as a toad, amongst the fairest breeders of our clime. The empress sends it thee, thy stamp, thy seal, and bids thee christen it with thy dagger's point.
Zound, you whore! Is black so base a hue? Sweet blouse, you are a beauteous blossom, sure.
Villain, what hast thou done?
That which thou canst undo.
Thou hast undone our mother.
Villain, I have done thy mother.
And therein, hellish dog, thou hast undone. Woe to her chance, and damned her load of choice. Accursed the offspring of so foul a fiend.
It shall not live.
It shall not die.
Aaron, it must. The mother wills it so.
Oh, what? Must it, nurse? Then let no man but I do the execution on my flesh and blood.
I'll broach the tadpole on my rapier's point. Nurse, give it me. My sword shall soon dispatch it.
Sooner this sword shall plough thy bowels up. Stay, murderous villain, and will you kill your brother? He dies upon my Schmeister's sharp point. That touch is my firstborn son and heir. What? What, ye sanguine, shallow-hearted boys? You white-limbed walls? You alehouse painted signs? Coal black is better than another hue. It is that it scorns to bear another hue. Tell the Empress from me, I am of age to keep mine own. Excuse it how she can.
Wilt thou betray thy noble mistress thus?
My mistress is my mistress. This, myself, the vigour and the picture of my youth. This before all the world I do prefer.
By this our mother is forever shamed.
Rome will despise her for this foul escape.
The Emperor in his rage will doom her death.
I blush to think upon this ignominy.
Look how the black slave smiles upon the father, as who should say, old lad, I'm thine own. He is your brother, lords, sensibly fed of that self-blood that gave you first life. And from that womb where you were imprisoned, he is enfranchised to come to life. Nay, he is your brother by the surer side, although my seal be stamped in his face.
Aaron, what shall I say unto the Empress?
Advise thee, Aaron, what is to be done, and we will all subscribe to thy advice. Save thou the child, so we may all be safe.
Then, we sit down and let us all consult. My son and I will have the window view. Keep there. Now, talk pleasure of your safety.
How many women saw this child of his?
Why, so brave, lords. When we join in league, I am a lamb, but if you brave the moor, the chafed boar, the mountain lioness, the ocean swells, not as so Aaron storms, but say again, how many saw the child?
Cornelia the midwife and myself, and none else apart from the delivered Empress.
The Empress, the midwife, and yourself. Two may keep counsel when the third's away. Go to the Empress and tell her this, I said. Weak! Weak! So cries the pig to the spit.
What means thou, Aaron? Wherefore didst thou do this?
Oh, Lord, 'tis a deed of policy. What, shall she live to betray this guilt of ours? A long-tongued babbling gossip? No, lords, no. And know it be known to you my full intent. Not fair. One Millie lies, my countryman. His wife, but yesternight was brought to bed. His child is like to her, fair as you are. Go pack with him and give the mother gold, and tell them both the circumstances of all, and how this by their child shall be advanced, and received by the Emperor's heir, and substituted in the place of mine, to calm this tempest whirling in court. Hark ye, lords, hark ye, I have given her psychic, and you must needs bestow her funeral. The fields are near, and you are gallant grooms. This done, and see that take no longer days, but send the midwife presently to me. The midwife and the nurse well made away. Then let the ladies tattle what they please.
Aaron, I see thou will not trust the air with secrets.
This care of tomorrow, herself and hers are highly bound to thee.
Now to the Goths, as swift as swallows flies, there to dispose his treasure in mine arms, and secretly to greet the Empress' friends. Come on, you thick-lipped slave, I'll bear you hence. For it's you that puts us to our shifts. I'll make you feed on berries and on roots, and feed on curds and whey, and suck the goat and cabin in a cave, and bring you up to be a warrior and command a camp.
Come, Marcus, come, kinsman, this is the way. Girl, now let me see your archery. Look, ye draw home enough, and 'tis there straight. Sirs, take you to your tools. Publius and Sempronius, you must do it. 'Tis you must dig with mattock and with spade and pierce the inmost centre of the earth. Then when you come to Pluto's region, I pray you deliver him this petition. Tell him it is for justice and for aid, and that it comes from old Andronicus, shaken with sorrows and ungrateful Rome. Oh, Rome, well, well, I made thee miserable. What time I threw the people's suffrages on him that thus dost tyrannize o'er me.
Oh, Publius, is not this a heavy case to see thy noble uncle thus distract?
Well, therefore, my lord, it highly us concerns by day and night to attend him carefully, and we feed his humour kindly as we may, till time begets some careful remedy.
Kinsman, his sorrows are past remedy. Join with the Goths, and with revengeful war take wreak on Rome for this ingratitude, and vengeance on the traitor Saturnine.
Publius, how now? How now, my masters? Oh, what, have you met with her?
No, my good lord, but Pluto sends you word. If you will have revenge from hell, you shall. Marriage for justice, she is so employed. He thinks with Jove in heaven or somewhere else, so that perforce you must stay a time.
You doth me wrong to feed me with delays. I'll dive into the burning lake below and pull her out of Akron by the heels. We will solicit heaven and move the gods to send down justice for me to wreak our wrongs. Come, to this gear. You're a good archer, Marcus. Ad Jovem, that's for you. Here, ad Apollinem. Ad Martem, that's for myself. Here, girl, to Pallas. Here, to Mercury. To Saturn, Caius, not to Saturnine. You were as good to shoot against the wind. To it, girl. Marcus, loose when I bid. Of my word I've written to effect, there's not a god left unsolicited.
Kinsmen, shoot all your shafts into the court. We will afflict the emperor in his pride.
Now, masters, draw. Oh, well said, Lucia. Good girl, in Virgo's lap. Give it, Pallas.
My lord, I am a mile beyond the moon. Your letter is with Jupiter by this.
Publius, what hast thou done? See, thou hast shot up one of Taurus' horns.
This was the sport, my lord, when Publius shot the bull. Being galled, gave Ares such a knock that down fell the ram's horns in the court. And who should find them but the empress villain? She laughed and told the Moor she should not choose to give them to his master for a present.
Why, there it goes. God give his lordship joy. Oh, news from heaven. Marcus, the post has come. Sirrah, what tidings? Have you any letters? Shall I have justice? What says Jupiter?
Oh, the gibbet maker. He says that he hath taken them down again, for the man must not be hanged till the next week.
But what says Jupiter, I ask thee?
Alas, sir, I know not Jupiter. I never drank with him in all my life.
My villain, art not thou the carrier?
Aye, of my pigeons, sir. Nothing else.
Why didst thou not come from heaven?
From heaven? Alas, sir, I never came there. God forbid I should be so bold to press to heaven in my young days. Why, I'm going with my pigeons to the tribunal plebs to take up a matter of brawl betwixt my uncle and one of the imperial men.
Why, sir, this is as fit as can be to serve for your oration, and let him deliver the pigeons to the emperor from you.
Tell me, can you deliver an oration to the emperor with a grace?
Nay, truly, sir, I would never say grace in all my life.
Sirrah, come hither. Make no more ado, but give your pigeons to the emperor. By me thou shalt have justice at his hands. Hold. Meanwhile, here's money for thy charges. Give me pen and ink. Sirrah, can you with the grace deliver a supplication?
Aye, sir.
Then here is a supplication for you. And when you come to him, at first approach him. You must kneel, then kiss his foot, then deliver up your pigeons, then look for your reward. I'll be at hand, sir, so you do it bravely.
Oh, aren't you, sir? Let me alone.
Sirrah, hast thou a knife? Oh, come, let me see it. Here, Marcus, hold it in the oration, but thou hast made it like an humble suppliant. When thou hast given it to the emperor, knock at my door and tell me what he says.
God be with you, sir. I will.
Come, Marcus, let us go. Publius, follow me.
Why, Lord, what wrongs are these? Was ever seen an emperor in Rome thus overborne, troubled, confronted thus, and for the extent of eagle justice used in such contempt? My lords, you know, as know the mightful gods, however these disturbers of our peace buzz in the people's ears, their naught has passed. But even with law against the wilful sons of old Andronicus, and what if his sorrows have so overwhelmed his wits, shall we be thus afflicted in his wrecks, his fits, his frenzy, and his bitterness? What's this but libeling against the state and blazoning our injustice everywhere? A goodly humour, is it not, my lord?
My gracious lord, my lovely Saturnine, lord of my life, commander of my thoughts, calm thee and bear the faults of Titus' age, the effects of sorrow for his valiant sons, whose loss hath pierced him deep and scarred his heart, and rather comfort his distressed plight than prosecute the meanest or the best for these contempts. Why, thus it shall become high-witted Tamora to gloze withal. But Titus, I have touched thee to the quick, thy lifeblood out. If Aaron now be wise, then is all safe, the anchors in the port. How now, good fellow? Wouldst thou speak with us?
Yea, forsooth, and your mistership be imperial.
Empress I am, but yonder sits the emperor.
'Tis he. God and Saint Stephen give you good den. I've brought you a letter and a couple of pigeons here.
Go. Take him away and hang him presently.
How much money must I have?
Come, sire, you must be hanged.
Hanged? By Leyden, I have brought up a neck to a fair end.
Despiteful and intolerable wrong. Shall I endure such monstrous villainy? I know from whence this same device proceeds. May this be borne as if his traitorous sons that died by law for murder of our brother have by my means been butchered wrongfully? Go! Drag the villain hither by the hair, nor age, nor honour shall shape privilege, for this proud mug I'll be thy slaughterman. Sly, frantic wretch that hopes to make me great in hope thyself should govern Rome and me. What news with thee, Emilius?
Arm, my lord, Rome never had more cause. The Goths have gathered head, and with a power high-resolved men, bent to the spoil they hither march amain, under conduct of Lucia, daughter to old Andronicus, who threats in course of this revenge to do as much as ever Coriolanus did.
Is warlike Lucia general of the Goths? These tidings nip me, and I hang the head as flowers with frost, or grass beat down with storms. Aye, now begins our sorrows to approach. 'Tis he the common people love so much. Myself have often overheard them say, when I have walked like a private man, that Lucia's banishment was wrongfully, and they had wished that Lucia was their empress.
Why should you fear? Is not your city strong?
Aye, but the citizens favour Lucia and will revolt from me to succour her.
King, be thy thoughts imperious, like thy name. Is the sun dimmed that gnats do fly in it? Then cheer thy spirit, for know, thou emperor, I will enchant the old Andronicus with words more sweet and yet more dangerous than baits to fish or honey stalks to sheep, when as the one is wounded with the bait, the other rotted with delicious feed.
But he will not entreat his daughter for us.
If Tamora entreat him, then he will. For I can smooth and fill his aged ear with golden promises that were his heart almost impregnable, his old ears deaf. Yet should both ear and heart obey my tongue. Go thou before, be our ambassador. Say that the emperor requests a parley of warlike Lucia, and appoint the meeting even at her father's house, the old Andronicus.
Emilius, do this message honourably, and if he stand on hostage for his safety, bid him demand what pledge will please him best.
Your bidding shall I do effectually.
Now will I to that old Andronicus, and temper him with all the art I have, to pluck proud Lucia from the warlike Goths. And now, sweet emperor, be blithe again, and bury all thy fear in my devices.
Then go successantly, and plead to him.
Approved warriors and my faithful friends, I have received letters from great Rome, which signify what hate they bear their emperor and how desirous of our sight they are. Therefore, great lords, be as your titles witness, imperious and impatient of your wrongs, and wherein Rome hath done you any scathe, let him make treble satisfaction.
Brave slips sprung from the great Andronicus, whose name was once our terror, now our comfort, whose high exploits and honourable deeds in grateful Rome requites with foul contempt. Be bold in us, we'll follow where thou leadst, like stinging bees in a hottest summer's day, led by their masters the flowered fields, and be avenged on the cursed Tamora. And as he saith, so say we all with him.
I humbly thank him. And I thank you all, but who here comes here, led by a lusty Goth?
Renowned Lucia, from our troops I strayed to gaze upon a ruinous monastery, and as I earnestly did fix mine eye upon the wasted building, suddenly I heard a child cry underneath a wall. I made unto the noise, and soon I heard the babe crying, controlled with this discourse: peace, tawny slave, half me and half thy dam. Did not thy hue beware whose brat thou art? Had nature lent thee but thy mother's look? Villain, thou mightst have been an emperor. Where the bull and cow are both milk white, they never do beget a cow black calf. Peace, villain, peace. Even thus he rates for the babe. Needful of the man.
O worthy Goth, this is the incarnate devil that robbed Andronicus of his good hand. This is the pearl that pleased your empress's eye, and he is the base fruit of his burning lust.
Touch not the boy.
Say, wall-eyed slay, whither wouldst thou convey this growing image of thy fiend-like face? Dost not speak what death? Not a word. A host of soldiers, hang him on this tree, and by his side is fruit of bastardy.
Touch not the boy, he's of royal blood.
Who like the sire for ever being good? First hang the child that he may see it sprawl, a sight to vex the father's soul withal. Get me a ladder.
Lucia, save the child and bear it from me to the Empress. If thou do this, I'll show thee wondrous things that highly may advantage thee to hear. If thou will not, before what may befall, I'll speak no more, but vengeance rot you all.
Say on. And if it please me which thou speaks, thy child shall live, and I will see it nourished.
And if it please thee, why assure thee, Lucia, 'twill vex thy soul to hear what I must speak. For I must talk of murders, rapes, and massacres, of acts of black night, abominable deeds, complots of mischief, treasons, and villainies. Rueful to hear, but piteously performed. And this shall all be buried by my death, unless I swear to me my child shall live.
Tell on thy mind. I say thy child shall live.
Swear that he shall, and I will begin.
Who should I swear by? Thou believest no God? That granted, how canst thou believe an oath?
What if I do not, as indeed I do not? Yet, for I know thou art religious, and has a thing within thee called conscience, with 20 popish tricks and ceremonies, which I have seen thee carefully to observe. Therefore, I urge thy oath, for that I know an idiot holds his bauble for a god, and keeps his oath by which that god he swears upon. To that, I'll urge him. Therefore, thou shalt vow by that same God, whatever that God that so be, that thou adorest and have reverence, to save my boy, to nourishing and bring him up, or else I'll discover naught to thee.
Even by my God, I swear to thee I will.
First note, I begot him upon the Empress.
A most insatiate and luxurious woman.
Tut, Lucia, this was but a deed of charity, to which thou shalt hear of me anon. 'Twas her 2 sons that murdered Basanius. They cut thy sister's tongue and ravaged her, and they cut her hands and trimmed her as thou sawest.
Oh, detestable villain, that callest thou that trimming?
Why, she was washed and cut and trimmed, and 'twas trim sport for them that had the doing of it.
Oh, barbarous beastly villains like thyself.
Indeed, and I was their tutor to instruct them. That coding spirit they had was from their mother, as sure card as ever won the set. That bloody mind, I think they learned of me, as true as a dog ever fought at head. Well, let my deeds be witness of my worth. I trained thy brethren into that gleeful hole where their dead corpse of Basanius lay. I wrote the letter that the father found, and hid the gold within the letter mentioned, confederate with the queen and her 2 sons, and what not done that thou hast caused me to rue, wherein I had no stroke or mischief in it. I played the cheater for thy father's hand, and when I had it, drew myself apart and almost broke my heart with extreme laughter. I pried me through the crevice of a wall, when for his hand he had his 2 sons' heads, beheld his tears and laughed so heartily that both mine eyes were rainy like his. And when I told the Empress of this sport, she swooned almost at my pleasing tale, and for my tidings, gave me 20 kisses.
What? Canst thou say all this and not blush?
Ah, like the black dog, as the saying is.
Art thou not sorry for these heinous deeds?
I had not done 1,000 more. Oft I dig up dead men from their graves and set them upright at their dear friends' doors, even when their sorrows almost were forgotten, and on their skins, as on the bark of trees, have with my knife carved in Roman letters, Let not your sorrow die, though I am dead. I have done 1,000 dreadful things as willingly as one would kill a fly. And nothing grieves me more heartily indeed that I cannot do 10,000 more.
Bring down the devil, for he must not die so sweet a death as hanging presently.
And if there be devils, would I were a devil, to live and burning in everlasting fire, so I might have your company in hell, but to torment you with my bitter tongue.
So stop his mouth and let him speak no more.
My lord, there is a messenger from Rome, desires to be admitted to your presence.
Let him come near. Welcome, Emilius. What's the news from Rome?
Lady Lucia, and you princes of the Goths. The Roman Emperor greets you all by me, and as he understands you are in arms, he craves a parley at your father's house, willing you to demand your hostages, and they shall be immediately delivered.
What says our general?
Emilius, let the emperor give his pledges unto my father and my uncle Marcus, and we will come. March away.
Thus, in this strange and sad habiliment, I will encounter with Andronicus and say I am revenge sent from below to join with him and right his heinous wrongs, knock at his study where they say he keeps to ruminate strange plots of dire revenge. Tell him revenge is come to join with him and work confusion on his enemies.
Who doth molest my contemplation? Is it your trick to make me ope the door that so my sad decrees may fly away and all my study be to no effect? You are deceived. But what I mean to do, see here in bloody lines I have set down, and what is written shall be executed.
Titus, I am come to talk with thee.
No, not a word. How can I grace my talk? Wanting a hand to give it action? Thou hast the odds of me, therefore no more.
If thou didst know me, thou wouldst talk with me.
I am not mad. I know thee well enough. Witness this wretched stump. Witness these crimson lines. Witness these trenches made by grief and sorrow. Witness the tiring day and heavy night. Witness all sorrow that I know thee well. For our proud empress, mighty Tamara, is not thy coming for my other hand?
No, thou sad man, I am not Timora. She is thy enemy, and I thy friend. I am revenge, sent from the infernal kingdom. Come down and welcome me to this world's light. Confer with me of murder and of death.
Art thou revenge? Sure. And art thou sent to me to be a torment to mine enemy?
I am. Therefore, come down and welcome me.
Do me some service ere I come to thee. No, by thy side, where rape and murder stand, now give me some assurance that thou art revenge. Stab them or tear them on thy chariot wheels, and then I'll come and be thy wagoner and whirl about the globe with thee.
These are my ministers, and come with me.
Are these thy ministers? What are they called?
Rapine and murder. Therefore called so, because they take vengeance of such kind of men.
Good Lord, how like the Empress' sons they are, and you the Empress. Oh, but we worldly men have miserable, mad, mistaking eyes.
This closing with him fits his lunacy. Whate'er I forge to feed his brain sick fits, do you uphold and maintain in your speeches, for now he firmly takes me for revenge. And being credulous in this mad thought, I'll make him send for Lucia his daughter. And whilst I at a banquet hold him shore, I'll find some cunning practice out of hand to scatter and disperse the giddy Goths, or at the least make them his enemies. See, here he comes, and I must ply my theme.
Long have I been forlorn, and all for thee. Welcome, dread fury, to my woeful house. Oh, rapine and murder, you are welcome too. Oh, Lord, the Empress and her sons you are. Well, you are fitted, had you but a Moor. Could not all hell afford you such a devil? But welcome as you are. What shall we do?
What wouldst thou have us do, Andronicus?
Show me a murderer. I'll deal with him.
Show me a villain that have done a rape, and I am sent to be revenged on him.
Show me 1,000 that have done thee wrong, and I will be revenged on them all.
Look around about the wicked streets of Rome, and when you find a man that's like thyself could murder, stab him. He's a murderer. Go thou with him. When it is thy hap to find another, 'tis like to thee, good rapine, stab him. He's a ravisher. Go thou with them. And in the emperor's court there is a queen attended by a Moor. Well mayst thou know her by thine own proportion, for up and down she doth resemble thee. I pray thee, do on them some violent death. They have been violent to me and mine.
Well, hast thou lessoned us? This shall we do. But would it please thee, good Andronicus, to send for Lucia, thy thrice valiant daughter, who leads towards Rome a band of warlike Goths, and bid her come and banquet at thy house? When she is here, even at thy solemn feast, I will bring in the Empress and her sons, the Emperor himself and all thy foes, and at thy mercy shalt they stoop and kneel, and on them shalt thou ease thy angry heart. What say, Andronicus, to this device?
Marcus, my brother, 'tis sad Titus calls. Go, gentle Marcus, to thy niece Lucia. Thou shalt inquire out among the Goths. Bid her repair to me, and bring with her some of the chiefest princes of the Goths. Bid her encamp her soldiers where they are. Tell her the Empress and the Empress too feast at my house, and she shall feast with them. This do thou for my love, and so let her, as she regards her aged father's life.
This I will do, and soon return again.
Now will I hence about thy business, and take my ministers along with me.
No, let rape and murder stay with me, or else I'll call my brother back again. And cleave no longer to revenge but Lucia.
What say you, boys? Will you bide with him? Whiles I go tell my lord the emperor how I have governed our determined jest. Yield to his humour, smooth and speak him fair, and tarry with him till I turn again.
I know them all, though they suppose me mad, and will I reach them in their own devices. A pair of cursed hellhounds and their dam.
Madame, depart at pleasure, but leave us here.
Farewell, Andronicus. Revenge now goes to lay a complot to betray thy foes.
Oh, I know thou dost, and sweet revenge, farewell.
Tell us, old man, how shall we be employed?
Oh, Tut, I have work enough for you to do. Publius, come hither.
What is your will, my lord?
Know you these two?
The Empress's sons, I take them. Chiron and Demetrius?
Fie, Publius, fie, thou art too much deceived. The one is murder, rape is the other's name. And therefore bind them, gentle Publius, lay hands on them. Oft have you heard me wish for such an hour, and now I find it. Therefore bind them sure and stop their mouths if they begin to cry.
Villains, forbear. We are the Empress's sons.
And therefore we do what we are commanded. Stop, close their mouths, let them not speak a word. Is he sure he bound? Look, that you bid them fast.
Come, Lavinia. Look, thy foes are bound. Sir, stop their mouths, let them not speak to me. But let them hear what fearful words I utter. O villains, Chiron and Demetrius, here stands the spring whom you have stained with mud, this goodly summer with your winter mixed. You killed her husband, and for that vile fault 2 her brothers were condemned to death. My hand cut off and made a merry jest. Both her sweet hands, her tongue, and that more dear than hands or tongue, her spotless chastity, in human traitors you constrained and forced. What would you say if I should let you speak? Villains, for shame you could not beg for grace. Hark, wretches, how I mean to martyr you. This one hand yet is left to cut your throats, whilst that Lavinia between her stumps doth hold the basin that receives your guilty blood. You know your mother means to feast with me, and calls herself revenge, and thinks me mad. Hark, villains, I will grind your bones to dust, and with your blood and it I'll make a paste, and of the paste a coffin I will rear, and make 2 pasties of your shameful heads, and bid that strumpet, your unhallowed dam, like to the earth, swallow her own increase. This is the feast that I have bid her to, and this the banquet that she shall surfeit on. For worse than Philomel you used my daughter, and worse than Progny I will be revenged. And now, prepare your throats. Lavinia, come. Receive the blood, and when they are dead, let me go grind their bones to pounders small, and with this hateful liquor temper it, and in that paste let their vile heads be baked. Come, come, be every one of fishers to make this banquet, which I wish may prove more stern and bloody than the centaur's feast. So now, bring them in, for I'll play the cook, and see them ready against their mother come.
Uncle Marcus, since it is my father's mind that I repair to Rome, I am content. Good uncle, take you in this barbarous Moor, this ravenous tiger, this accursed devil. Let him receive no sustenance. Fetter him till he be brought unto the empress's face for testimony of her foul proceedings. And see the ambush of our friends be strong. I fear the emperor means no good to us.
Some devil whisper curses in mine ear and prompt me that my tongue may utter forth the venomous malice of my swelling heart.
Away, inhuman dog, unhallowed slave. Sirs, help our uncle to convey him in. The trumpets show the emperor is at hand.
What? Hath the firmament more sons than one?
What boots it to thee to call thyself a son?
Rome's emperor and niece, break thy parley. These quarrels must be quietly debated. The feast is ready, which careful Titus hath ordained to an honourable end, for peace, for love, for league, and good to Rome. Please you therefore draw nigh and take your places.
Marcus, we will.
Welcome, my gracious lord. Welcome, dread queen. Welcome, ye warlike Goths. Welcome, Lucia, and welcome all. Though the cheer be poor, 'twill fill your stomachs. Please you, eat of it.
Why art thou thus attired, Andronicus?
Because I would be sure to have all well to entertain your highness and your empress.
We are beholding to you, good Andronicus.
And if your highness knew my heart, you were my lord the emperor. Resolve me this. Was it well done of rash Virginius to slay his daughter with his own right hand, because he was enforced, stained, and deflowered?
It was, Andronicus.
Your reason, mighty lord?
Because the girl should not survive her shame, and by her presence still renew his sorrows.
A reason mighty strong and effectual. A patent precedent and lively warrant for me, most wretched, to perform the like. Die, Lavinia. and thy shame with thee. And with thy shame thy father's sorrows die.
What hast thou done so unnatural and unkind?
Killed her, for whom my tears have made me blind. I am as woeful as Virginia was, and have 1,000 times more cause than he to do this outrage, and now it is done.
What? Was she ravished? Tell us who did the deed.
Will please you eat? Will please your highness feed?
Why hast thou slain thine daughter thus?
Not I. 'Twas Chiron and Demetrius. They ravished her and cut away her tongue, and 'twas they that did her all this wrong.
Go, fetch them hither to us presently.
Why? There they are both, baked in that pie, whereof their mother daintily hath fed, eating the flesh that she herself hath bred. 'Tis true, it is true, witness my knife's sharp point.
Die, frantic wretch, for this accursed deed!
Can the son's eye behold his father bleed? There's meed for meed. Death for a deathly deed.
Oh, speak, Rome's dear friend, as erst our ancestor. Here is a captain. Let her tell the tale. Your hearts will throb and weep to hear her speak.
Then, noble auditory, be it known to you, the cursed Chiron and Demetrius were they that murdered our emperor's brother, and they it were that ravished our sister. For their fell faults our brothers were beheaded. Our father's tears despise and basely cousins of that true hand that fought Rome's quarrel out, and sent her enemies unto the grave. Lastly, myself unkindly banished. The gate shut on me and turned weeping out, to beg relief among Rome's enemies, who drowned their enmity in my true tears, and ope their arms to embrace me as a friend.
Now is my turn to speak. Behold this child. Of this was Tamora delivered, the issue of an irreligious Moor. The villain is alive in Titus' house, and as he is to witness, this is true. Now judge what cause had Titus to revenge these wrongs, unspeakable, past patience, more than any living man could bear. Now have you heard the truth? What say you, Romans? Have we done aught amiss? Show us wherein, and from the place where you behold us now, the poor remainder of Andronicus will hand in hand all headlong cast us down, and on the ragged stones beat forth our brains, and make a mutual closure of our house. Speak, Romans, speak. And if you say we shall, though hand in hand Lucia and I will fall.
Come, thou reverend man of Rome, and bring our empress gently in thy hand. Lucia, our empress, for well I know the common voice do cry it shall be so. All hail, Lucia, our empress!
Go, go, into Titus' sorrowful house, and hither hail the misbehaving Moor, to be adjudged some direful slaughtering death as punishment for his most wicked life.
All hail, Lucia, our empress!
Thanks, gentle Romans. May I govern so to heal Rome's arms and wipe away her woe. Come hither, young Lucia, come. Come and learn of us to melt in showers. Thy grandsire loved thee well. Many a time he danced thee on his knee, sunk thee asleep, his loving breast thy pillow. Bid him farewell. Commit him to the grave. Do him that kindness, and take leave of him.
Oh, grandsire, grandsire, even with all my heart, were I were dead, so you did live again. Oh, Lord, I cannot speak to him for weeping. My tears will choke me if I open my mouth.
You sad Andronici are done with woes. Come, Give sentence on this execrable wretch that hath been breeder of these dire events.
Set him breast deep in earth, and famish him. There let him stand and rave and cry for food. If anyone relieves or pities him, for the offence he dies. This is our doom. Some stay to see him fastened in the earth.
Why should wrath be mute and fury dumb? I am no baby. I that with these base prayers, I should repent the evils that I have done. 10,000 worse than I ever did. Would I perform if I might have my will? If one good deed in all my life I did, I do repent it from my very soul.
Some loving friends convey the emperor hence and give him burial in his father's grave. My father and Lavinia shall forthwith be closed in our household's monument. And for that heinous tiger, Tamora, no funeral rite, no more Anne in mourning weeds, no mournful bell shall ring her burial. But throw her forth to beasts and birds of prey. Her life was beast-like and devoid of pity, and being so shall have like want of pity. See justice done on Aaron, that damned Moor by whom our heavy haps had their beginning. Then afterwards, to order well the state, that like events may ne'er it ruinate.
So that marks the end of this evening's performance of Titus Andronicus. If you have made it to the end, I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Thank you for joining us this evening. And once again, please consider donating to Acting for Others. The link to our Just Given page can be found in the description below or in the live comments section. Please donate as much or as little as you can. And from all of my cast and myself, thank you for joining us this evening. Stay safe, and I hopefully it won't be too long before we can be sat back in the theatre watching live shows once more.